you get after decades of hate and MMA? A neo-Nazi fight club. Let's get straight into this, man. From California to Kiev, far-right MMA groups are training their members for political violence. It's a fast-growing scene that has become more than just a sport. For many in the far right, MMA is a lifestyle. Bro, they are wild. Like, who wants to see me go join the neo-Nazi fight club? Go ahead and drop a comment. They probably wouldn't let my ass in, but hey, you never know, bro. But look, before we start this video, man, you guys have 5 seconds to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, or else I'm hitting you with this, all right? 5, 4, 3, 2. That's what I thought, man. Appreciate all y'all that dropped a like. I didn't mean to put the fear in you, bro. That's kind of messed up that I did that. I apologize, but you know, we need to get the subs up. I'm trying to hit 100K this year. But forget all that for now. We gonna be reacting to the inside of a neo-Nazi fight club, man. That's wild, bro. Look, if I ever get beat up.
This is Kampf der Nibelungen, the largest far-right MMA festival of recent years. At its height, thousands of neo-Nazis flocked from across Europe to attend. Inside the ring, far-right.
You know how terrifying that would be, bro? Like, you accidentally run into a flyer that says like, yo, come watch free MMA fights. And I see that, I'm like, man, you know what? That sounds like a good ass time. I go out there and there's a whole bunch of white neo-Nazis, bro. Imagine that. I can't fight all of them, bro. But I will say this. If I ever get my ass beat by a racist, I'll delete this channel.
Fighters face off against each other. Outside, neo-Nazi fans use it as a major networking hub. It's a fast-growing scene that has become more than just a sport. For many in the far right, it's a lifestyle where the skills learned can be used against their political enemies.
That's such a spit in the face to the beautiful sport of MMA.
Disturbingly, Kampf der Nibelungen is just one of many far-right MMA promotions around the globe that stage events,
France,
sell branded products, and push a racist, hyper-masculine ideology. In Greece, there's Pro Patria, one of the founders of which was involved in the neo-Nazi party Golden Dawn.
In France, there's Pride France, whose leadership has been linked to racist and homophobic attacks.
But I feel like this kind of doesn't make sense. Alright, y'all are a far right, like obviously whites only type shit. Why are you beating up on your white brothers like that, bro? Like, look, if I was white, bro, and a neo-Nazi, and I get my shit rocked and knocked out in front of all of the honeys, I'm not gonna be racist no more, bro. I'm leaving the squad.
You need to begin with White Rex in Russia.
White Rex, I would call the big player of the far-right combat sports scene.
White Rex was launched in 2008 by a Russian neo-Nazi football hooligan called Denis Nikitin.
Denis Nikitin
began White Rex by selling clothing emblazoned with far-right slogans. But it was in 2011 when he started running whites-only MMA tournaments that his empire really started to grow.
That's crazy.
Multi-ethnic country, and various combat sports in Russia have been
Dagestan
historically featuring.
Oh, don't tell me Khabib is racist.
And fighters, you know, from all corners of Russia and abroad. Famously, many of the good fighters come from the North Caucasus, and you know, this was something that was unacceptable for the neo-Nazis. Basically, the fighters from North Caucasus were, simply put, defeating them every time they went in the ring.
Let's go, baby!
So Nikitin offered them, you know, an excuse, offered an opportunity to participate in the MMA tournaments where all the fighters were white.
Nikitin had struck on a winning formula, using the rising popularity of mixed martial arts to grow his brand. Soon,
That's crazy.
tournaments were being held across Europe, often staged with local far-right groups, making Nikitin a key figure on the European extreme.
Just imagine, guys, how boring. I don't want to say boring, because we have a lot of good white fighters, all right? We have a lot of good white fighters in the UFC, but imagine if we don't have, like, the John Joneses, the Anderson Silvas, you know, the Brandon Morenos in the league. Like, we gonna lose a little bit of that that spiciness. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna miss out on so much, bro, if it's only like one race. That's crazy.
Extremist scene.
It's crazy that there was a lot of people like where they could start multiple leagues too.
With slick advertising and socials, White Rex pitched itself as not just a fight promotion company, but an all-encompassing lifestyle brand, selling active gear and weaponry. They were no longer selling just a sport, but a way of life.
They are appealing to a very traditional, in their understanding, natural interpretation of masculinity. So it's all about historic fighters. There are lots of t-shirts and also activities where they go into the woods, they make their fires. So trying to present a somehow unmodern or pre-modern masculinity,
I hate
which
camping
is able
now.
to survive in hard circumstances on its own power.
It's a neo-Nazi propaganda done by people with some skills in design, in marketing. The image that is constructed is that of a warrior that is always ready to fight, using some of the Nordic symbolism, and they believe that they need to defend something. Some of them define it as Christianity, some of them define it as white European heritage.
Alright, this is the part that obsessed me. When he says some of them define it as Christianity. Brother, look at me. If any neo-Nazi Fight Club people from this shit, Jesus was more than likely, you know, Arabic. You know what I mean? Dark complexion. Shit, he probably looked more like me. You know what I'm saying? Alright? Even if Jesus was white, he is not gonna promote whites only, brother. That's not what he's gonna do. And that's one of the terrible things. Like, and I'm gonna get off a little bit off of it on a tangent right here. People will see like, and this is with everything, right? This is just one example. They see Muslim people, right? Or people from the Middle East in that area and automatically assume like, oh, Muslim, the terrorists, whatever. Oh, Muslims do this, they 9/11, all this shit. But really it's like, look, bro, that's a handful of people. Most of them are regular people, good people, decent people. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna have your bad batch, right? Same thing with Christianity. These people are Christians. They're pieces of shit, okay? The KKK, pieces of shit, and they're Christians. You know what I'm saying? Every race is gonna have that. Now, I don't judge Christians off of these guys. You know, they're just that small bad batch. So if anybody here is watching and has like a certain idea of like, oh, this person's this religion and this is what they are, like, get that out your head, bro. If you really take the time to look at stuff, everybody's doing bad shit, whether it's race, religion, freaking skin color, male, female, they, them. Can't forget y'all. Everybody does bad shit.
Others are just protesting or revolting against the modern world.
And it's been massively successful. White Rex has a huge fan base across social media, despite having been kicked off major platforms. Page after page of young men who are not only buying their products, but their racist ideology. And this hasn't gone unnoticed.
These guys are
around the
cucks,
world.
bro, I can tell.
Copycats have sprung up globally. The most successful was set up by an American neo-Nazi named Robert Rondo.
If anyone wants to know, this is what we're about. It's Rise Above movement.
Robert Rondo is a really significant force in the far-right space, and I would venture to say that he is one of the most dangerous white supremacists currently active in the mixed martial arts space.
That's
When
crazy.
Robert Rondo looked at Denis Nikitin, he saw an example, someone he can copy and someone he could become, you know, a small version of for the US market.
Rondo co-founded the Rise Above movement, basically a US version of White Rex. Billing itself as
Copycat.
the premier MMA club of the alt-right, the group claimed to have more than 50 members and forged links with far-right groups in Europe. Things were going pretty well for the group.
Well, tonight, 4 men are facing federal charges for inciting a riot.
That's until Rondo and other Rise Above movement members were charged after attacking counter-demonstrators at MAGA rallies across the US.
In a 25-page federal indictment.
Look, how come we ain't hear about this? You hear about the protests, right? Where people were looting and rioting. How come we ain't hear about this? I don't know. Y'all tell me,
Four more
man.
members of the white nationalist group Rise Above movement were charged with inciting a riot in Huntington Beach.
These events underlined the danger of the far-right MMA scene, groups who are training specifically for political violence.
So basically, for many of the neo-Nazis who are practicing MMA, almost a natural next step is, being prepared yourself. So keeping your body and keeping your fighting skills up to date. But that obviously isn't enough. And the logical next step is acquiring weapons. That starts with knives, and it's only a matter of time.
Hey,
the next
always stay strapped, guys. You never know what these neo-Nazis gonna run up on you, and they might have hands, bro. So
as the far-right MMA scene continues to grow globally, what are mainstream MMA organizations actually doing to combat extremism?
If you really want to fight extremism, you have to actually fight it. You can't just react to the instances when they happen and claim they're just occasional.
And that's pretty much all the UFC or Bellator, the two main MMA promotions, have done to date. There have been several cases of fighters with links to the far-right MMA scene signing on for them.
Like Anastasia Yankova, who made her debut as a fighter for White Rex and is now signed
fuck
to
that
Bellator.
bitch.
Benjamin Brinzer, an alleged German neo-Nazi known for organizing rallies against refugees, who was signed in 2013. And Timo Voigt, another
that dude kind of diesel though,
who was signed in 2020.
I'm about to get a bat for him.
Voigt had their offers quickly rescinded by the UFC.
That's good.
How did it get this far?
The fact that the UFC parent company Zuffa and Strikeforce at the time allowed this to happen shows the extreme level of ignorance and incompetence when it comes to matters of racism and extremism in these sports. And unfortunately, from 2012 all the way to 2021, we still see these instances and matters still have not improved.
Meanwhile, back on the scene, Nikitin's formula shows no signs of losing its appeal. He and Rundo have even started their own podcast together.
That's crazy, bro. They got a podcast?
Fight clubs.
I also thought, what would be the best way to promote the values of my brand? Strength, unity, fraternity, brotherhood, camaraderie. The best way to promote that would be to start an MMA tournament.
With MMA one of the most popular sports on the planet, all eyes are on the mainstream promoters to step up their game in tackling far-right extremism.
I'm not gonna lie, there was one thing I did agree with those guys on. Keep your body prepared. Know how to fight in case shit goes down. Now, they're using it for the wrong reasons, but I do agree with that. Guys, if you're watching this shit and you don't know how to fight, I'm not saying I'm the best fighter out there by any means, but I can defend myself pretty well. Now, if I run into John Jones and he's trying to break my back, ain't much I can do about that. That was bars a little bit. I didn't even mean to do that. But look, I agree with that. But as far as the other shit, like this is crazy because it's like with soccer or football, It's like if you, like with soccer, for example, if you get somebody from this country and somewhere over in this country and then this country back here and another country back here and you just put them on a field to play, bro. They don't gotta know the same language, but they know the game. It's just the ball's there and we can go. No racism involved, right? But it's just terrible that in sports, and you see it in soccer all the time and you're seeing it with fighting, people just still have that hate when it's like, a white fighter can be just as good as a black fighter, or a Hispanic fighter, or whatever, So let me know what you guys think in the comments about this neo-Nazi fight club. And if you are in a neo-Nazi fight club, comment down below and let us know, like, why you're in that, But yeah, guys, that was very interesting. I was just kind of looking through videos and I seen this pop up on my feed and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna react to it with you guys.